hitting that like button. I seriously thank you very much.
Good morning, Dave P. How's it going? Welcome to stream, everybody. This is just an impromptu random stream that we do. Normal stream is normally about 10:30 at night. I have a late night stream, but I am starting to break into the daytime time frames here, playing around with that. Well, we've got something interesting going on with Bitcoin. We're at 71,633, and she's playing a tough game right now. She's going in and out, and I'm trying to work this as best as I can. I'm going to add a few more contracts over here to my position. I just took a big profit, or just took some profit when we started losing this trend line right here. Now we're breaking above it, so I'm going to take just a little risk, add just a little bit back to my trades here. Give me just a second, we'll pull them up. We've got two trades going on. And she's in kind of an interesting area. I'll pull up the trades here in just a second. I'm on the 1 minute chart. Now, when I'm doing this, I wanna zoom out and see what's going on in the bigger picture, right? I like the 1 hour. This particular time frame can cover, you know, about a 12-hour period pretty safely. So if I go by this, I know I should be able to read about the next 12 candles or so, right? It's just kind of how I'm looking at it. Things aren't looking good. We're above this $71,300 area right here. When we kind of zoom out on the bigger picture, we got an established trend going here. Let's tighten it up on this time frame. One, I'm looking for a possible 3 hunts before a dump. And what's so interesting is we didn't even come back and test this trend line. Wow, that was a nice sign. So now we got a secondary trend line going on right there, right? Let me kind of dash that guy out. So when I get an established trend, the immediate thing I look for is a channel. That's going to give me some ideas of where we could possibly go within, especially the time frame that we're looking at. Could we get up to 62.5? Would that be cool if I'm doing some kind of leverage play? Well, it gives me 1.2%. 10x, that's, or a 10x leverage, that would give me 10%. So there's some possible gains. 20x would double that. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of this channel when you kind of zoom out, and that's where we're finding some resistance here. So we need to break up above these levels, and we've already got past the main one. So it looks good that we might have a possibility to go up there. Ichimoku Cloud over here, which I love to go by when I'm looking for a strong move. She's saying, yeah, I like that. But always remember, we can come right back down and touch this main trend line at any time. So we need to get back onto the 1 minute because that's where I'm actually going to be executing my strategy. And I am just chasing. Are you chasing? I am chasing a particular thing. I am chasing the trend. We got a trend line here. And this is what I do. When I break that trend line, I'm taking profit. It's that simple. It's this simple. When we establish a trend line and it gets broken, consider getting in. It may be wishy-washy. You might got some other things going on, but we broke. What we've done is we exited a channel. This is bearish pattern. We exited it, and that's usually really bullish. We came back, retested it, finagled around here a lot, you know, making you wonder, are we going to come back to the bottom? Because that's usually what I'm looking for, and that's what I was looking for. So I was de-risking here. I was taking profits when, you know, and when we break back into it, well, I'm back in. And especially after breaking the trend line, and then we got above the non-moving average, and I'm like, all right, it looks like it's good. So we're above this trend line right here, and so I'm added back to my positions. Let's go take a look and let's see what we got going on. Well, this is the better than life trade system that I'm putting out here for day trading on this little 1 minute chart. And right now I've got let's see what have I got over here. This account was 3,000 something. I can't remember exactly. We can look in the history and figure it all out. Now it's 6,500. I always hit the P&L just to kind of show what's been going on. Last 7 days, I'm up $1,300 here. Last 30 days, I'm up $22,100. So bumpy rides like they usually are in trading, in and out. I do this a little bit different. I'm not always doing just a day trade, but today we'll give that as an example. I usually do little swing trades. I milk these little suckers, man. I'm not in and out. I'm not a scalper. Okay, so see what we're doing right here on this 1 minute? We're starting to flirt with breaking this. Now, we haven't closed a candle below it, but... And she may just be coming to retest at 21, pop back above, and then keep... Oh, nope. Okay, so now, I'm by my rules. I'm going to take just a little bit of profit, closing about 25% each position. She's likely to bounce here, though, and I'm going to have to buy back in. Did we close that? Did we close... All right, and here she is bouncing off of that. So she's being a little sketchy. This is not really great. Now look, if we look at this, that's a perfect retest of this, and she's got every right to bounce off of this and just keep going on. But you know, I've got my strategy. So now I'm going to follow the downtrend. And what I'm looking for, I just want a solid break above this big ass line. If I can get that solid break above there, I can think about going a lot heavier into this trade, but until we get that, no. So in the meantime, I've got to manage my little trend lines because they're helping me to follow this guy. So we've established this little bottom trend right here. I'm going to paint him green, and I know that we might possibly coming back down to test this area. I really want to bounce off of this one. I need that. I need you to break out here, even though I've already taken a little bit of profit. This is slowly increasing depending on how much I put in. So I'm just putting in a little. When I'm adding, I'm probably adding about 10% of the time. When I'm taking profit, I'm taking about 25% of the time. That's just what I'm doing at the moment. Now, if finagles those percentages around just willy-nilly, whatever is striking me at the moment, just something conservative. But Ichimoku Cloud is still saying that, hey man, I got something in store for you if you're patient for it. Now we could come down to the 10-second chart and all that and just have a lot of fun, but my personal opinion, the 1 minute is quite noisy enough to try to get a feel for what it's going to do. So are we coming down here? Let me lower this guy a little bit to the wicks. Lower you down because she's probably coming down to the pre-ball. 71509. Do I want to add in? I'm up 17% profit on my Bitcoin trade and up 28% on my regular. My entry price that I've got is 71,217. So we're not too far away. So my entry is like down here below this line. Actually right below this line. So if we were to just drop straight back down here, it would be right at my entry. So I've got perfect risk management. Putting a stop loss here at entry, man, I'm good. And this would be a place where I'd look for a bounce where she would, you know, that's actually what I'm looking for. We're coming back into this pattern. Now the reason it might be doing that, I've got to look at I've got this angle, so that's what I'm going by. And so can I tighten her up? Will that help me out? Let's put her right here on these candle bodies. That looks okay. I'm putting it right under here under this resistance, that resistance. That seems to hold. It's cutting through some of these candles over here. I'm not crazy about that, but for right now, just to help us narrow it down. So we've really look like we've broken back into this. So I'm looking for a bounce right now in the 1 minute. 715. See if we get something like that. Now that's getting into this Ichimoku cloud, and it gets kind of iffy. The only clue that I've got from this cloud that maybe we'll get a bounce is just the way it's acting over here, how it's getting thin and pointing up. That could be a sign that we're going to bounce here, but nothing definite of it. Usually when we get into the cloud, I'm expecting it to spit us out on the other side, which could be right down here. 71,000. Could happen. Breaking all my trend lines. Oh, look. You trying to do something? She kept putting the 50 moving averages come into play here. If you guys can see that. There's a dance between these moving averages. Let me get these indicators off so we can look at the price action. And now she's flirting right back up here. So we're just playing these games. Market makers are just playing these games. But look, they're making higher highs and higher lows. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit as soon as I get a candle above this trend line again. Tiny little bit because she's playing games. I'm going to play games too. She's not even breaking it, so I'm not adding. And normally, my rule is to actually wait till we break above this, but that was my degen talking. He likes to try to front run everything. Reel him in there, but he's got a good point. Bouncing off the 50, we should slowly try to reclaim the 21 and the 9. They have not crossed, so this is still bullish. I just don't like the cloud. I am going to throw in 25 contracts because my position is very low now, so I don't want to move my entry too much. So I'm just going to add 25 contracts. And here we are. So now I've got, how many contracts I got? I got 403 contracts now. So it's not a major thing. Sometimes you'll see me on here with a couple thousand contracts. And really, if I'd caught it if I found a nice bottom place to get in, I would like to go somewhere, anywhere, to build a position about 2,000 to 5,000. That's just what I can comfortably do with the, I believe I'm using 15x leverage on this. So I'm front running a little, and that's risky. It is risky. But yeah, I got this little trend line to protect me on that. If I see this green one start to break, then, you know, I can de-risk from that. So a little safety measure in place there, but just waiting for a nice breakout here. Can you get it? You can with these moving averages not crossing. There it goes. Now my other one, my linear, I'm going to add just a little bit. How much have I got? My position over here is 0.03 Bitcoin. I want to put 0.005, just a small little nibble. I'm trying to find a little way just to add to my position. So if we actually get a breakout, then I've got a good anchor in around this bounce. Because it does look like we might be able to go up towards 73,000 if we do. But this is a risky play because I'm buying at the top. So I want to be careful. I'm not going in heavy at all. What I normally would do if I, you know, down here, establish the position down here, something like that, I would have been a lot heavier, focusing a lot heavier there. And actually, we were earlier, and then we broke this and took a lot of profit, took some of my profits. And now we got our breakout there. I'm going to add just a wee little, I'm going to add 25 more contracts. Because they're looking good. Oh, are you going to make me, are you going to play with me? Maybe that's too early on that. I jumped the gun. I jumped the gun. Should have waited till my candle closed above there, but hey, sometimes my little degen just gets to me. But it was only 25 contracts, so at least I'm managing that part, that risk. Still looking good. Bounce back. Come on, baby. Yeah. Now, Doc, you just take risk. I did. Call it out, baby. Be honest about it. I didn't wait for my confirmation to jump in, other than me being above this trend line, and it got a candle close above it. That's one of my triggers, but I need to get above that 9, really. So let me get my other one ready. My linear account. Let's get her primed for a nice little nibble. 0.005. And that's about $18 for me to add to that trade. Come on, baby, get above the 9. Oh, yes, baby. So add to that one. And my little degens want to add 25 more contracts to my other one because of these little degens. So that's your candle close. All right. So now I've got 453 contracts and 0.049 Bitcoin trades. So that's $192. It's not that big of a trade for me. $193 on this particular account because, you know, it's got like 60. What are we up to? 6,300. So, you know, I'm not sitting here betting $3,000 so I can make $50 because that's stupid. I've got 194 and I've already made 43. I can work with that. That's 24%. And I'm just getting started. I'm not working on jumping out. But I do have to keep watch on the chart, so we got to go back over here because I got trend lines to watch. That's the whole thing to my strategy. So you do need to be involved if you're doing this on a day trade. But if you're on a 1 minute chart, and the only reason I'm coming out here and doing this is because, you know, I mean, there's some popular people out there, you know, that had a $5,000 account open for over a year. I don't know, take some in and out, say whatever, but you know, the account's never growing, or it grows and then shrinks back. But, you know, the techniques is you never know when they're coming out. They plan a trade, have a target, 73,000 or something like that, but then, you know, it's in, out completely. Show you how to make that 3%. If you do this 10 times a day, well, that's unreasonable. Whether this person ever show you where they've done it 10 times a day and made that money that they're talking about. So we don't have that going on. And my strategy, I just feel, is a little bit helps you nail it a little more. And just to put it in a nutshell, whatever time frame you're on, you're following your trend line. And look, all these little moves, you can go to an even smaller time frame. Say if I'm on the 1 minute, man, I could go to a 10-second, something like that, and I can target. This is basically what I do. This is where I get out. I'm not. Price is too far away from the 21 moving average. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? Because you can that's subjective. That depends on how far you do this, how far you stretch it. I mean, what does that mean? It can look. It's not that far away now. Look, it's really far away from the 20. It's subjective, so that's not a solid stism. But a trend line is very solid, and when you break it, well, there's usually something going to happen. You usually have a downward trend line, and she's trying to do it now. Now, I'm not going to do this for every freaking one on the 1 minute. I want to be honest with you. Only the good ones. Because I've got another trend line that we're kind of close to. Now, I put it to the wicks there, but look. Sometimes you might see me not do it, especially if there's not a cross on these moving averages. Now, that looks like that 9's getting ready to cross. Price is already coming down here. But I might pick up some right down here toward the bottom of my trend line, because that's what I like to do. I didn't take any profit. I didn't sell any, but what I put in down here will help offset what I put in up there. And remember, it was only just a little nibble. And our profits are still at 22%, still at 14%. I got the wiggle room because my entries is like 71,300 and 71,400. We're not quite there. I got my stop losses. Are they still in place? Sometimes I have to keep my eye on them. I need to adjust this one. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm taking my eye off the chart here for a moment. Oh, see, she's a bouncing. Oh, did you come down here and then you decide to go back up? So that's what you do, sneaky. Just putting a limit order down around that area, 71,600 area, just in case it comes down and snipes it. You got a 50 contract order down there. May not get hit. Some people might see this as falling knives, catching a falling knife or anything, but I've got a plan of a trend line to protect ourselves. If these trend lines start breaking, well, then I can get out. And there's a 50 moving average that looks like we may come down and retest. I don't like the way the 9's is not. It's really fighting to avoid crossing the 21. That's a little saving grace we got here. Might pull us back up, but are you bouncing from here? You try. So it's a little iffy, and this is what it's like all day long if you're trying to day trade. You're just sitting here, look at the charts. It gets really boring. It's not the greatest way to make money, to be honest with you. Making the bigger swings is the way to make the. That's why I'm normally a swing trader and not the day trader. But hey, we're just playing around with the techniques, because this technique works on any strategy, on any time frame, whether you're an investor, whether you are a swing trader, position trader, day trader. The trend lines work for anything. So I see a little deviation we got going on there. Do I need to alter this? Are we getting a different angle? Let's try a little experiment here. Let's go from this top to this top. That's normally how I draw trend lines. I was just respecting the angle that we got. And I actually like that. I like that a lot. That actually gives me a very more solid trend line for support and where we might be coming down. I've been guesstimating, following this one over here on the shorter move, when we can just look back to where we come from on a little bit of a bigger scale and get just a little bit more finesse there. So it is quite possible to retest this area. And we're in a little range. If you were to take this little line here and put it over here where this recent high was, and then it kind of spells out the exact. Whoops! I just put that back. Let's try to get this price tag out of the way. Then it spells out the exact range that we're at, right? So we got these little tricks we can look at. I want to dot that one. So you may not see trend lines and patterns and stuff drawn this way, but basically I had a channel we broke out, and that's bullish, and we're retesting those areas before moving higher. So let me take this little guy and drag him over there, candle body to candle body. And somewhere around 71,800. It's kind of what I'm expecting on this very, very short move. There is a trend line here that is finding this one, red one right there, right? We're coming back and bearishly retesting it. That's where we're having our problems. So if you ever can grasp this idea instead of just immediately saying, "Oh, well, this is what we got." I mean, just track what got you there, and they can open up some insight. And this was the main trend line. That was when I sold a little bit, because I know it's going to do something like this or worse or whatever it's going to do. Now, after you do that, yeah, it's perfectly acceptable to add this information, because now you changed the trend. You changed the trend line, I would say. I mean, you always got this one, and it was resistance, and it will keep being resistance for it. But now we got this as a new bottom area. And if you want, you can channel this idea out. That's just a little technique I do a lot, and that kind of helps you. And notice how this angle is really reflected over here in the wicks. So these are just kind of little techniques that I use. Ooh, there's our bounce. Is it time to buy again? We're above it. I want to throw in. Oh darn it! You missed the move. No, I didn't. Just throwing in 25 contracts. I want to work on my Bitcoin one a little bit more on this one. It's easier. 25 contracts on that little guy. We're on the 1 minute time frame. So can we go up $100? Oh crap! I'm on the wrong one. Did I buy Flux instead? What? All right, and a linear point. I'm just gonna put 0.005. Man, I fat fingered a buy yesterday and I had 0.3 Bitcoin. Okay. I had to manage that guy because she went. All right, so currently 503 contracts, 0.05 Bitcoin. So I'm just slowly growing that. Still up $42, 22% gains, 13% profit. I'm just kind of milking this. I'm establishing my base positions, what I'm trying to do. And, you know, may end up getting stopped out, and she may come down, and I may have to look at trying to find another bottom, or you could technically look, this would be the place to start looking for shorts, but since we are in an uptrend, you would be trading against the trend. So to me, that's a little bit more dangerous and less likely to play out. It's easier to get stopped out on that and to lose trying to short a bull market. So I'm not trying to do that. But these are the areas that you would be looking for it. And I don't think that's explained enough. Jason Casper does a pretty good job of explaining, you know, the areas look for toward the top. So you want to start planning any kind of shorts that you got. 71.8 of these targets that we got there, I think that we're going to go to. I mean, where a lot of people are trying to short her down. Oh, here she comes already down again. So she just really playing with our emotions. Not playing with my emotions, but playing with her pocketbooks. So I still got an order down here waiting for it. She broke that trend line. Now, technically, I should have sold there, but I was just busy yapping and not watching. And that's the thing about day trading. You got to be there, setting alerts, or just be right. And it's so time consuming. It's really. If you think about what you win, you probably make more at your day job, unless you're just really, really keen and doing this all the time. You got some system, but then that takes all day, man. Swing trading, on the other hand, swing trading would be trying, you know, doing this move to that move. That would be your swing, and that would, depending on how you played it, using my system, you would get these eyes. You would get your trend lines lined up, and you know, lots of places stay profit, but notably right up here, and then I'm very bottom line in the sand here, and that's a nice little swing, part of a bigger swing from here to there. Technically, if you're swing trading and trying to get, you know, these areas, we'd have a breakout right here. You'd probably enter around here. At the top of this, when we came back in this channel, it'd probably be most people's entries, whether they had this drawn or not. And then you got this, we're still in this trade, this swing trade would still be open. If you're using this as your line to put your stop losses under, you're still good. And you just sit back and relax and just, you don't have to worry about all this job. But if you're a day trader or trying to do a day trade thing, trading this 1 minute, whatever, I mean, if you're trying to do it, then you're sitting there going through all this crap. And right now it's crap. See, she's bouncing down, bouncing up. She's really playing with us right now. But in anticipation, Ichimoku Cloud is kind of telling me that maybe she's got a nice move. But what is the 1 minute going to tell me that the 4 hour can't really spell out to me? And the 4 hour Ichimoku Cloud looks really good. But we're kind of overheated with our indicators. We have, we made a higher high from these candle closes. One little thing that I'd look for is a swing high and a swing low on this 4 hour time frame. And this 113 area. I want to draw a line there. Because if we're just going to make a higher high and then come and dump on people, well, I'm looking at the possibility of that being the area that it happens. I don't know that, but that's what I'm watching for here on the 1 minute. She's getting boring. And we just sit here and go through all the boringness. Nice little green candle again on the 1 minute. Am I freaking out? Oh my God, it's too far away from the 21 on the 4. Look how far away the price is from the 21. I better get out and get my 3%. I don't play that way. Obviously people do. I just think it's, for people that are just coming in and just learning about it, is that what you really want to teach them? Is that what you want to think is how they should what they should be trying to build up to be is this kind of a trader to trade the 1 minute? I don't say so. I'm saying the biggest people that make money in this market are doing it long term, and they were accumulating at the bottoms of the cycle. Because all this cycle is just a little sine wave. You got a top, you got a bottom, and you got a top, and it spreads over 4 years, and it just, gradually higher highs and higher lows. But on altcoins, Bitcoin, and all that, when we came down to the bottoms and stayed there for a while, and everybody's bored and don't like it and scared, and we're going to whatever zero price or near zero price, those are the areas on Bitcoin or altcoins that that's where position traders are going, and that's what we were doing on our channel. So I've got some bags there. I've got a lot of bags that are moon bagged. That means when they doubled, I took my collateral out. Now I've got a bunch of little bags, just which is that's a headache in itself. But I'll do things differently. I won't focus on so many coins next time. Markup phase, distribution phase, markdown phase, accumulation phase, wash, rinse, repeat. We in Bitcoin are in this area markup. Over our higher highs, but we're still in a possible big markup phase. We're kind of about right here, I'm guesstimating, for Bitcoin, considering what this top would be. While I'm sitting here yakking, it's dumping, so that's the thing. So again, waiting to see if we come down here. There's no bearish cross here on the 1 minute. So let's come over to the chat and see what you guys are talking about. Got Day P, MG Motorsports. Hello, Road Dog. 2 a.m. here and getting Road Dog stream. Winning. Yay! We got Joe from Trade Intuition. How's it going, man? How's it going, Joe? Crypto 420 says, let's go. MG Motorsports says, your angles and lines are amazing. Well above my knowledge level. No, not really. I wouldn't say that. It's not above your knowledge. It's simple. It really is. The trend lines, they mean a lot to me, because before I ever paid for a group or anything, I spent 1 month. I was like, I'm going to figure out trend lines, and I learned a lot. Although there was a lot that I didn't know that I added on to that really made a difference. But just the more time you spend on the chart, but a trend line, that's it. I personally think this is the most simple strategy to trade. I really do. And let me just go over it one more time and on a bigger time frame, because it applies anywhere. But you just zoom out and you get your thesis. You try to figure out what's going on, and you just, like on the daily chart, I'm just connecting dots from bottom to bottom. I got this main trend line. Now, if I wanted to trade the daily, that means I make up my thesis here. And as things are playing out, we're just tracking them. So, look, I mean, this is a great place. So, let me get this moving average. Got Lucy's moving average. Which, by the way, if you've ever wondered why I use Lucy, the 666 moving average, which, you know, it sounds horrible to use, but... Oh, that's LAY. But I backtested that one after finding it, and I, you know... Look, this was, where was this? We're at 27,000. Look. The price just respects her. And as soon as it got above that, and the 200 was right there too, man. The 200 crossing her was a big deal. The 200 crossing a bigger moving average. That's a big deal. That's a bullish cross. So some cool stuff going on there. But back to the trend lines. So let's start down here. So because we're at the bottom, let's say if you did get in. So you'd be drawing a trend line, you'd have it established, trying to figure it out, and we're just doing it on the daily, but breaking that trend would be, you start looking at, well, by this strategy, I need to look for an entry. If we're breaking our trend line, there's probably something there. You get your confirmations and whatnot, and we can go to that. Mine is getting price above the 9 moving average. Breaking a trend and getting above the 9 moving average usually spells an uptrend for me. So you follow this little guide, and you just draw a trend line, and then she deviates from it. All right, well then we can follow that one after it's established. Now, usually you want to wait for it gets up and it'll make a low. And it'll be on the daily, it was here. Now, if you want it, I mean, you got a trend line up there that you're following, and as soon as it breaks, gets below it, that's a great place to pay yourself. And Bryce is far away from the 21 movement. I don't know what that means, but even then, she started still going back up. Technically, on a smart time frame, there's another trend line that broke, but you can just stretch this one out, and then you get another one. Then it goes sideways here, so we just look for a downtrend when it breaks, and then the sign would be get above the 9 moving average, and then we got one, and now we got another trend line established, and you know it starts out steep. Maybe you can take out here. So it's basically just following the tops. You put a line on the top when we're going down, and when it breaks back above it and gets above the 9 moving average, beautiful entry. Sometimes I like to front run them down here. There's techniques to do that, but basically you're catching the bulk of the move, and you're just drawing a trend line. You got an original trend line that starts on the angles, and then you'll get a secondary trend line where it just keeps wanting to go up at a higher angle, and you can trade them all, man. So there's an exit there, there's an exit there, and then you follow the top one. In this case, it kind of just went straight. Not the greatest one to get in there. Didn't last all that long, but if you're still doing trend line strategy, there's your exit. And then you follow the trend to the downside. It breaks it, gets above the 9. This wasn't the greatest trade, but it was one. So it's basically, I'm still following through. I feel like I'm just getting repetitive and repeating exit. And same thing. So if you wouldn't get in, or if, you know, however you play it. However you play it. I mean, technically you'd be looking at this guy. There's lots of plays in between here, and you can do this on the smaller time frames and nail those, but I'm just zooming out on the daily, just doing that. But break the trend line, get above the 9, nice move. It can be that simple. Trend lines in your 9 moving average. So simple. So really not that hard, or if it is that hard, I mean, ask questions. I'll try to explain stuff as best as I can, but let me come back down to the 1 minute and see how bad I've been beat up since I've been sitting here talking. Oh, I missed it. That's what happened. So are you gonna, I got stop losses. Am I hit? No, we're still in, and we're still up 10%. Now let me see if I need to do something, because we broke my trend line, man. Yes, I am, because that's my strategy. We might bounce off this 100 moving average, though. I'm just throwing that out there and come back up and retest. So before I just freak out and say, oh my gosh, let me see what she's going to do. Sometimes I might come down to the 10 second chart. Come into 1 minute. And look how far we are from that 21. You know we got to go. It's like a magnet. This tracks us right back up to the 21 moving average. I did that for you, Joe. So, you know, I could have freaked out and said, oh my gosh, I got to get out now. But patience, baby. Was it a good call? Maybe. She might just, the way that is acting tonight, she might just break back up here and come and retest this 200. Getting back into my pattern. But I'm looking for a bearish retest here since we broke through my trend line. So we're trying to bear stress on this one. Is that where I need to do something? We're above the 9 moving average. This is the first step to recovery, even if I'm on the 10-second time chart. She breaks the 9, I'll get out. Don't break that 9. Stop it. There's a nice green cloud here. Oh, crap it. All right, we're gonna. I don't believe you. I think you're going to bounce. I'm going to still close 25% because I said that's what I do. So I still think you're getting ready to. Oh no, maybe not. Screw you. I don't care what you think. Right now, I'm taking 25%. I want to see what she double bottoms here. So trying not to freak out, but trying not to just sell all my bag if I don't have to, right? I mean, I'm just managing risk at this point. So now I got a trend line here. You break below that, I'm probably going to cut you. I'll cut a lot of you. I'll cut half of you. 9 below the 21, and she could roll over here or cross. We don't know, but she started looking like she's turning, and then they can flip-flop so easy. It's not a total good sign. Would love to see the 9 moving average cross. Oh, see, she's turning down. Love to see it cross over that. Now, it can because they're so close together. It'd be easy for price to recover both of these guys right now. Ichimoku cloud sticking out and then leveling out. So I'm looking for a possible bounce, but if she breaks below here, well, I'm hitting that sell button. Get ready for it. I want to sell half. You break it. Don't you break it. Don't you break it. You're so far away from that 20. No, you're not far away from that 20. Wait till it crosses that 20. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, Bitcoin. Oh, come on. Oh, you did it. All right, well. I don't know if I'm catching all of that, but I got stop losses in place too. So let's see what we did. So now I'm down to 208 contracts. I can manage that. I can so manage that. And still, I've got 71,445 as my entry. Oh, and did you just break below that? See, here's the crazy thing. Now we're below my entry, but I'm still up in profit. That's because I've been taking profit. Now I've been through this little guy before, and if you start breaking all my, you broke my main trend line. You might bounce there, but right now we're out. Closing all this position because I am in profit. She is below my entry, but I'm still in profit. If I let this ride down, it's going to drag me down. And then I will get, I've noticed this is a way that they can kind of trap you into that because you get below your entry and you're still technically in profit because you took profit. So you're still up so many percent. And then, well, that gives you a false sense of security. And if price comes down too low, I mean, you can finagle it and everything. But by the time you realize that you should have got out, you're like, oh crap, now I'm losing. Or you do exit and you end up being in the negative. I don't know. Let's see where we are. How are we right now? How did this work out? Position history, I think is what we're looking at. So I came out $26 up. Is that it? This is the trade. 605 has today. Oh, by the way, here's my trades. Oh, I got 3 pages now. I got 2 wins. Another 8 wins, 2 losses. Another 9 wins, 1 loss. These are stop outs. Still, they're negative, so we count it as a loss. So up $26 on that one, and oh, but that doesn't have my Bitcoin. Oh, this is only for the dollar one. Let's see. We got to get over to the inverse contract and see what his position history looks like. So 9 out of 10 there. They're basically going missing. 8 out of 10 there, and 2 more winners on. No, that's the same. That's the same thing, dude. Inverse oh, because we didn't change it here. There we go. All right, I think this would be the same or different. All right, you don't tell me. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, USD. I'm not using that one. So position history. I only got 2 pages here. 3 out of 10. My last one. Okay, so one I just closed, I got 0.000412 Bitcoin. Not very much. 6% profit loss. Remember, my entry price is, what was it? 70,005. Did I misread that? Are you? Anyway, maybe I misread it. And here was, here's one. So here I got stopped out, or did I get, most of them were stop outs. Here's one I took a loss at 20% under. And I think that was one of those situations I was just telling you about where it gave you a false sense of where I thought it was up more and went below where my entry or something. One of these really messed me up, and I started paying attention to that. And I think it was this one that opened my eyes to. So here's, it wasn't so great, right? Out of 10, I think it's 10. 3, 6, 9. Out of 10, I got 4 out of 10 trades here. So that wasn't hot. And here it was, I won 7 out of 10. So definitely did a lot better on the dollar part. So that one looked pretty snazzy. But that's just called being transparent. Thank you, Bitcoin. What are you doing on this 10-second chart? Are you playing with my feelings? Are you playing with my emotions, Bitcoin? What are you doing? All right, so I got a lot of noise here. I'm going to clear up. Do we have another trade today? I don't know. Am I going to take another one today? She broke that. You break back above this and it is on, but until she does, I'm counting that as a bearish retest. That she may be coming down to these lower areas. So this could be a place to short. You're shorting the bottom, shorting the retest. Now this is a very great place to do it if she gets rejected there. The best place to be looking is when you're getting up these double tops, but very few people are thinking about those areas. And really, like I said, if you're looking at Jason Casper and doing the range thing, we still got higher to go before you really want to look at getting a good entry on the short. She may be faking us out. Look, 100 moving average above the 200 looking strong. I think she's faking us out, and I may get back in on this. I might do it if we get back up in here. There's a red cloud coming in right here, and if we can break up above here with that red, man, I'm still not sure. Still not sold. 21 looks like she wants to cross bearish over that 100. At this point, I want to tighten up my trend lines. Make sure I'm to the candle bodies there. And does that line up over here pretty well? Kind of, a little bit better. Makes it have to work harder just to fool me. Oh, I don't know what she's going to do. She's starting to get a little bit boring right now. All the excitement was earlier this morning. Anyway, how is this account doing now? Still hanging around 65, but it's better than hanging around 5,000 where it was, or 30-something thousand where it was. So I still got some orders placed. I actually got some positions. I got some limit orders placed in there. Well, alrighty. So I think I started out with $1,000 or $1,500 over here in Tether, and now it's up to 33. So that's good. And I was thinking it was like 0.02 Bitcoin. Now it's 0.04. So I've pretty much doubled this account and hope to keep doing it. Now another one account that I've got open, I probably need to nurture over here because I haven't been looking at it. Oh, you've added to it. Is the BitUnix. Now this is my $100 to $10,000 challenge for myself. And this one I have always had full transparency on this guy. Put $100. This whole account started from $100. It got up to around $1,500 and I did some stupid stuff, but now we're up at $700. Now I got my spot count, my futures account, it got down to like $23, $28, something like that. Now we're back up to $123. So I like doing this. This is part of the, this is like a game to me. It's like a cool, dang, that's a nice candle. Well, it didn't last. it's just finessing the trade, just trying to get better. That you don't. I like taking small amounts and turn them into big amounts. That shows me that I can do it, and then I get confident in that, and then I know that I can do it on a bigger scale. So it's good if you got $25 just sitting around and want to have some fun, see how far you can grow that little sucker. Just and finesse your techniques, or $100. But even I'm finding $25 is pretty cool because I've been down that low and built it back up. And once you start being able to do that, you're proving to yourself, man, that you got these stages. First, you're coming into this market, you don't know anything. You're definitely beginner's luck. You might win something, think you're a genius, but you're basically going to lose. So and especially when you start trading, you're going to be losing. You just are. You're going to have a lot of loose losses, stop losses, get stopped out. Whatever your strategy is, you're going to lose for a while. And then you're going to start getting into it, and then you're going to start breaking even. That's when you're starting to get a handle on things. When your account's just not growing and not losing, you're breaking even all the time. That's a good sign of growth. The next step is when you start making profit, and that's a nice turnaround. Now you know you're doing something right. And then after that, then you realize that, hey, I've got a system that's working for me that I can count on, and now my profit keeps growing. I'm making more and more profit because I've got a profitable system. And you have to figure that out for yourself. The tools that you use, how you get in, how you get out of trades, and this and that. And there's some good things being taught out there, and there's some, some of the very basics. That's usually what you find out there a lot, and you need those basic fundamentals. But there's some extra things that you can pick up along the way that are just kind of cool, that can give you the edge. And anybody will tell you it's all about having an edge in the market. And if you're doing the exact same thing that everybody else is doing, that's where we get into your basic, like your breakout trading on patterns. That's what everybody learns, and that's why they get stopped out a lot. Even your basic support and resistance can work that way for you. But if you get something else that gives you a little edge, and for me, that's a trend line in the 9 moving average. That's one little signal. There's some other ones that I can't even think of at the moment, but that's one of the main easy ones that I can just boil it all down to. Especially in a bull market looking for a bullish breakout. So nurture this little guy. My entry price is 69,819. Man, I watched a dude this morning have an account. I saw that he opened a trade around 68.5, and during this price action when it was dropping, he closed that trade. I had it open for a while, and I was just sitting there thinking, man, do you really think that we're going to go back to 68.5 and kind of zero you out on your entry? Because that's a pretty good entry, man. He could have worked a lot with that. You'll see me, I'll get a good entry, and then as I'm going in and out, because that's just part of the strategy I'm using. I don't have to do that. I could just not just let it ride, but I'm trying to milk a little profit in the way, but it'll gradually raise my entry. So from 69.8, it will gradually go to 70 to 7,300 or whatever, just depending on how I get in and out, taking profits and adding to trades on pullbacks. That's just how I like to do it. Right now, I've got trend line strategies getting broken, so this is telling me that I need to take a little profit here. So I am actually going to close a little bit of this guy. I'm going to come over here, see right above my head. I can't see where I'm at. This way, that way. I'm on Bit Unix over here. It's US friendly too. I'm going to get a market. I can do 25%. I'm actually going 50% on this one, and then hit close. I want to take that. I want to take some of that $17 profit. Now look how it tells me I'm now up 51% in profit, but I think I got $8 unrealized. My Rune Train finally got in the green. The ICP one got in the green. I'm hoping they will continue going back in the green. Those have been dragging this down a little bit. So now that we see here, I'm on the 5-minute time frame. We broke my trend line. I should have, to get out. It's already got a sell signal here. So to the downside. So that's why I wanted to take a majority of my profit, but I still get to keep my 69,800 entry. That's why I didn't do it all. My entry's still down here. What if we come down here to this area and bounce? If I was all out, I would have to start all over with this entry at 70,000, build a new position and whatever. With me leaving that $17 trade, and I might decide to sell even more of it between now and then. But that means if I can wait and get that same entry about 70,005 with this one, well, it's going to take this and move it up just to here. So I'm automatically going to be in profit as soon as we bounce. And then my stop loss is going to be at a much juicier price where if I put a stop loss right under here and it happens, I still get stopped out in profit. I still get stopped out in profit because I had a lower entry just by playing that card. So that's one of the things different that I do that I don't see talked about very often. Because, you know, there's all different styles, and I'm not trying to badmouth anybody. And what resonates with somebody may not resonate with another one, but I see it's getting in all, going all in and getting all out, and just really, you know, that's not very you can't be consistent that way, especially if you're trying to preach consistency. It's hard enough to be consistent, but even harder if your system doesn't have any way to be consistent. Oh, guys, when price gets, how far away is this too far away from the 21 moving average? Is it going to reverse now? Is that what it is? Is that magnet going to attract us right back up to that 21? So just my ideas here. All right, go back to the chat here. MG says great explanation, but I don't. Hopefully it was over the trend things. I'm a little late here. Do you think Bitcoin will touch 72 today? It's not looking so much like, well, I'm on the 1 minute, so that's not the place to look for that. Actually, I don't know if it's going to happen today, but I know the bigger time frames here, they're looking nice. I wouldn't doubt that it couldn't happen. Let me switch to a different chart, so one that I'm not actually live trading on. Nice. Candle top, candle bodies, right? We got some respect between this wick and that candle body there for this angle, so I kind of like that. Look, it broke out of the top, retested it, and coming up. That's great sign, man. For real, for real. That's when you could maybe think about doing one of these guys. So, oh my gosh. Even if you did the width of the channel, which is applicable. It says we could be going to 78.5. If you want to do this as a bull flag, and then my gosh, you're getting a $90-something thousand target, which there's a lot that can happen between this breakout and that price point. Lots of stuff. And it doesn't mean that it's just going to hit there from here and never make a lower low. That's what we hope, but there's no guarantee. I like this. We got a hump, and I can just there's a general rule of thumb that I go by: 3 humps and a dump. So I am expecting we could do something like that, come back to this same trend line, and you know, that could be the Elliott wave 5 and ABC, whatever. It can end up breaking that up at a higher point. So we could see that, and then that could get us up to those areas. 72? I think we might be heading up here to the 73 to test that high. I think it's possible. Yeah, I do. So that's one reason why I'm kind of being not trying to short at the moment, because the trend's on our side. And then we got a channel idea that now we got to take this guy into account and just put it right above the candle where we're at. Suggests 75 could be on the way. So I like this. This is nice, retesting this line and bouncing off of it above the non-moving average on the day. It looks good. It looks good. We looked at the weekly and everything, and the 3-day earlier on, and everything looked really good for Bitcoin. Altcoins, on the other hand, you know, they could use a little bit of help. They'll lag a little bit. but they're gaining. Got a nice move off, basically doing the same, well, similar thing. We were testing a trend line here for altcoins. Altcoins are popping off. I don't trade altcoins very much on or perpetuals because, well, you got too many variables to keep up with. You got to keep up with Bitcoin, and to keep up with Bitcoin effectively, you got all the other metrics to do: Bitcoin dominance, US tether. You know, you got there's a lot of stuff that goes into tracking Bitcoin, and then you got to add another layer on top of the altcoin, how it's going to trade in relationship to Bitcoin. And it just, you know, if you do, you need to do low leverage, and just know Bitcoin ain't happy. That altcoin ain't going to be happy either. But altcoins are happy now. Now, I am saying with altcoins, total 3, this area up here, 780, man, we got rejected twice. You might say 3 times even. It couldn't even make it up there this last time. This was a what we call triple top. Not a head and shoulders, triple top. When it all said and done, it's all kinds of worked out the same. From what I found, anyway. But there's a Fibonacci measurement. There's one up a little higher, which is a major 618, which is a reversal area. And right below it is a 3618. I know it's crazy. If it doesn't make any sense, just know that that's normally known to be a convincing reversal area. So we got 2 sides saying that altcoins could reverse and fall here. And so what I'm preaching is that as we get more and more altcoins in and start approaching this level in total 3, me personally, I'm going to be pulling some of my capital out. I'm going to be paying myself on this because we could see a big pullback from altcoins. On the plus side, if it breaks above that and looks like she's going to go bullish as all get out, well, I can always add back in. But once we lose and drop, I can't always pull that profit out anymore, you know? You only get one chance to pull that profit out, or, you know, a few chances to pull it out before that's taken away from you, and you're like, man, I wish I'd pulled the profit out when we were up so high, but I was too busy thinking we're going to go higher. So that's one of the biggest strategies you got to work with. Look at SecuX go over here, man. That's Wall Street's happy today. Now, Wall Street gets happier. This is what I was looking at, where we bounced here and we're regaining this, bouncing off this 236 Fibonacci area. This SPX thing, Standard & Poor 500. I'm expecting this sucker to blast. A big blast. To bounce off of that area would... But, you know, being on Wall Street, I don't know, they might have some more controls in place to kind of regulate how fast things can go up, but that should be a good, strong move coming out. And if it is, it should carry over to Bitcoin and crypto. Bitcoin dominance is bouncing off above the trend line here, so Tether dominance is going down. People selling out Tether getting into Bitcoin and altcoins right now. And altcoins, stacks, baby. Yes, thank you for doing good, stacks. Come back to my little 1-minute trades to see what we got going on. Anything? Where are we on this? Was this it? I think this is it. That's not it. Oh crap. I was trading over here one. Okay. So on the 1 minute, she broke my trend line, retesting it. So I think I'm out, right? Did I get out? Am I still in? I thought I closed them. I think, yeah, I'm out. So I've closed my trades and look for a better entry. So we've left at 64,127 for today. 138 is what it says we got in profit today. And I just got to wait for a better, maybe a better setup. I'm not going to short because I just think that's going to be stupid if we're going to head 73,000. But here we go, profit and loss, that little button that everybody's afraid to push. And there's kind of why my strategy works. I don't do this every day for 1 minute trading, but it's the same strategy. And risk management that I use the trend lines help me manage my risk. And that's just what I'm doing. Guys, I'm through with my day trading exponent thing today, unless were you trying to flip bullish on me? I gotta see a break above this trend line to be convinced about anything. So the strategy would be now you got this, and so here would be the line that I would need to see price break and be above the 9-moving average, which it is. Now you could have done this, and that would have perfectly lent into it. Could have added right there, but it's this trend line here. That's a big one for me. That's a big one. So that's why I'm not jumping in on it. Bearish retest. These are signs that we could be making a lower low. Even though I would rather give her a chance to kind of settle down and maybe we can get back in around 71,000. All right, guys, if you got anything you want to talk about for a few minutes, my trade's over. Otherwise, we will close the stream and come back later on, maybe when something else is happening. So you may see me do some random pop-up live streams like this. If you're interested in this and want to check it out whenever, just hit the bell notification or whatever. If you can, it also helps.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'm not seeing any activity over here on the chat. I don't know if it's my fault or there's nothing just going on over there. Are you working, chat? Are you working? So I'm going to take it to the stream. And I was like, okay, Crypto Page, hey, thanks for hanging out. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and clear it out. And I will see you. What is it, 1 o'clock? Should be back by 10:30. And who knows, something might come up in the middle time. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you later, guys.